So, hi everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Torchbearer Thursday. And this is especially very, very special and close to our hearts because this is season two, the finale, the 20th episode in August. And this is especially important because of the cause that Madhura DasGupta Sinha works for, which is Aspire with her co founder, Reema Sen, and a conversation that we had in our office in early 2020, just before the pandemic, when Madhura called what was her garden leave about an idea she was furthering has not just, I mean, it's become a forest, and that's what I can say of where Aspire for her is today. And thank you so much for everything that you aspire to do, because it's a long haul, it's a long journey. And for someone like me who firmly believes in women, work, and well being, this is actually a beautiful, beautiful birthday gift for Lumiere's 25th, which is going to happen in September. So, that, there's a lot of work to be done in this field, and we're going to be talking about the last 1 year and the big aspirations, ambitions, and the vision that has made this a whole time almost an ikigai that I think Madhura seems to have found, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I still remember that day that I walked into your office, and Aspire for Her was very much just a kernel of an idea at that point in time. You're absolutely right that the gardening leaf turned into a bit of a forest, because today we have 60,000 members, mentors, and supporters across 60 different countries. But I'm going ahead of myself. Let me tell you a little bit about what Aspire for Her is all about, and why both of us got so excited just talking about the idea at that point in time. So, Aspire for Her, is started last year on Women's Day, so that makes us slightly more than a year old. I've been a banker for the last 25 years, and I was getting very disappointed looking at the gender data emanating from India in terms of the workforce participation of women that has been steadily going down for the past 15 years. In fact, the pandemic just dealt a crushing blow to the numbers, and we're now below 20%. India is among the poorest performing countries in terms of economic participation and empowerment of women as per the Global Gender Gap Index. And that was disturbing me. I thought we didn't deserve that place. And I wanted to do something about it. I thought someone should do something about it, and that someone should be me. So that's how Aspire for Her was born. And our mission is to motivate women to enter and stay in the workforce. And we want to add 1 million women to the workforce by 2025 by using the power of communities and networks.
Superb, superb, so well spoken. And Madhura, when you were on, embarking on this idea, and as you started to further it, I remember that uh, you thought you might start something, and you might maybe move it once it kind of takes life of its own, but you obviously felt that you needed to continue. So tell us about that time when you took this decision that I have to stay invested for longer, and this is a long haul for me.
Oh, it is. It is, Deepa, because, after we launched Aspire for Her, frankly, this was a fairly new concept for people in India. But when I was speaking to young women, particularly college going women in the age group of 18 to 25, that's when we started, I realized that there's a huge resonance of the idea, because all of them were seeing women around them who were not working, who were educated, who were qualified, but didn't really have an economic agency of their own. They were seeing disappointment, they were feeling a sense of vacuum in older women, and they didn't want that story to be continued. Every day, and today included, they give us inspiration to just carry on to ensure that this message resonates across the country and across the world. One day, when we were just going through the database, we realized that we had started off talking about the India problem, but there were people from 60 different countries of the world who were resonating with our cause. We did not ask them to come and join us on our platform, but they did. And that's when we realized that this is truly a powerful idea whose time has come. We are very fortunate that we have a lot of supporters in the form of the right thinking, forward looking men who want to be a part of the movement. Women from all walks of life have come forward very, very generously. Mentors, members, supporters, all formats. And we are very lucky that we have built what we like to call a movement.
Fantastic. So, Reema, what attracted you to become a part of this in the early days? And I think you probably have been a part of Aspire for her almost from the beginning. So, tell us about you with your career again in banking and finance, thinking that you want to do this full time.
I think Deepa, like all of us who've been in careers, all of us know what gender disparity is like, what gender discrimination is like. I think all of us face that at some point of time or the other. And to be very honest, it was Madhura's sheer energy and her conviction that pulled me. And this cause is something that resonates with all of us. I think the fact that women need to stay in the workforce, they need to join the workforce, they need to be economically independent. That is something that is very core to the way that I have been brought up personally, and something that I have believed also. And this is not a problem that is just for the young women. There are so many women who have left jobs. And when Madhura is talking about Aspire for her, it is not just about the 18 to 25 age group. She's talking to those women also who have quit their careers. She's talking to those women who are in the mid stages of their careers, and sometimes it gets a little difficult to continue in those careers. So there is this wide spectrum that she's trying to address, and that's something that I really passionately believe in. And I think thanks to Madhura, she's really done a wonderful job of building this platform, of being able to attract diverse talent and diverse expertise from different walks, from different formats. So actually, all kudos to Madhura really for this.
So, building a platform, one is to have the idea, and then, to be able to translate it and quickly put together what it takes. So, Madhura, your background, maybe you want to tell our audience a little bit, because a lot of us dream up things, we have ideas, and as to sort of take something and then to take it to closure, to act on that powerful idea and not sort of let it, lose steam. How did you keep the energy, and on a day to day basis, tell us what it meant to go, and from idea to platform was just a few months. So tell us about almost a sprint to building that platform.
You're right, actually. You're right. I was in a hurry because I realized that it was already very late. And the numbers were looking so terrible. It was not just a 1 or 2 year declining trajectory that we were looking at. We were looking at 15 years of declining workforce participation. So I didn't think we had a lot of time. That's the reason why I was in a hurry. Uh, I think the way in which the idea translated itself has probably something to do with my background. And I think each part of my past life had a certain role to play in making this happen so quickly. I think the first bit is that, I'm an engineering.
I think we've lost.
Yeah,
I really like to feel. Is that all right? I mean,
Yeah,
good to
sure.
go.
Please
Yeah.
continue.
So I like to think in structures, and I like to feel that an idea first must be thought through across the various elements that really contribute to it. And that's when I came up with something that we like to call the 5-point mindset change model. So when I asked myself, how do mindsets change? How do mindsets change? I talked about mentors and role models. That's the first pillar. We talked about resources, learning opportunities, business resources is the second pillar. We talked about career reviews. We said if she can see it, she can be it. And we had to showcase those parts. That was the third pillar. The fourth pillar was building a fantastic peer community where people, elevate each other, connect with each other, and they grow with each other. And the last pillar is what we like to call 3E, which is the final path to economic independence.
So the 3E is through education, employment, and
Yes,
entrepreneurship.
my education as an electrical engineer actually helped me put this together. Uh, my stints in the corporate world, both in retail banking and in HR, actually also helped me build this entire piece in a very beautiful, streamlined way, because I realized that there were certain elements of behavior change that would work only in a certain way. And I believed in the power of nudges and triggers, which were consistent and continuous and small. So that was the second big theme that I was working on. I didn't want to look at big bang ideas. I wanted to look at a continuous process through which mindset change actually works. But what really helped me the most, and that's the third theme that I'll talk about, is the fact that I made some wonderful friends along my journey. So today in Aspire for Her, I have friends from school, I have friends from college, I have friends from work, and Reema is an example of the third category. But I realized somewhere that this network, which sort of snowballed into other people's networks and their networks and their networks. And today, most of the mentors in the Aspire for Her platform also are people I did not know from before. I think that entire power of that network, the power of those friendships, developed into something truly wonderful. And I think these are the three things that probably helped me very quickly move from ideation into actualization.
But
Beautiful.
actually, Deepa, if I have to add to what Madhura is saying, we see that in, let's say, for example, Not Alone community. We conceptualized it, and I think we were able to implement within 2 weeks. And the reason, and it was a huge platform that we were trying to establish, and it was a complex platform. But again, it was networks. We started off with a network of people who were already part of Aspire for Her. And then quickly, the idea resonated with multiple people. So I think what Aspire for Her also provides is a idea, a possibility that is much bigger than the individual selves. So different people, different women can connect to this idea in different ways and contribute in the way they feel most comfortable. Men and women, that
Men
is,
and women, actually, yeah,
men
absolutely.
and women. And that is what we found, at least that's what my experience was, because I was building Not Alone community firsthand. That was my first experience in building a community. And we saw that happening. And I think that's what Aspire for Her does. It is an idea which is bigger than our individual selves. And
Yeah.
that is what brings a lot of people together.
Yeah. So for us, actually, the reason why this audience is actually watching you on the Torchbearer Thursday platform is the trigger, which is the Not Alone trigger. And while Aspire for Her is bigger, there is a crisis situation that led to the creation of in a short term with the COVID situation and the Not Alone community started. So maybe you want to just tell us a little bit, our viewers, a little bit about the Not Alone idea and what sparked it.
So Not Alone was not a planned community for us. And it was Madhura's idea. She was the one who said we must do something for these women who are being left alone by losing, when they lose their parents, when they lose their husbands, and who are also the primary breadwinners. And she unfortunately saw a lot of losses in her immediate friends community, and that is what pushed her and pushed all of us into creating a platform to support these women. So, what is Not Alone Now all about? It is a platform that will help women transition through one of the most difficult phases of their life. Not only are women facing this issue of having to face an immense grief, immense emotional pain of losing the most dearest person that they were holding on to, suddenly one day they wake up to the cold fact that they are responsible for the household expenses. They are responsible for taking care of themselves. They are responsible for maintenance expenses. They are responsible for education, income, for bank accounts, investments, and these are things that they have not been accustomed to. Some of these
Yeah.
women have had such sheltered lives, they have never even stepped out of their homes.
Yeah.
Having lost my father when my mother was just 34 years of age, this was a cause that I could relate to. And so when we were conceptualizing the platform, we said we need to provide a holistic set of solutions or services for these women. The centerpiece of this entire platform are women called anchors. Anchors are very accomplished but compassionate women who connect the impacted women, back to the community resources. And what do we provide? We provide grief counseling services. We provide help with inheritance and succession management. And finally, the most important thing, we try to transition them into a mind space where they start thinking of empowering themselves to economic independence through, again, the 3E model, which is upskilling through various kinds of courses. Like we have started an Excel upskilling workshop, we're starting a conversational English workshop. Similarly, we try to give them employment opportunities. And Madhura is at the forefront. She will leverage her network and the networks to try and get jobs for these women. And again, we also try to help them scale up their businesses if they have small businesses. We are very, very lucky that we have had very successful collaborations. It is my very proud privilege today that Bayer has joined us as an empathy partner. They want us to offer Not Alone services to their community of impacted women. We are talking to other organizations as well. There have been so many EAP agencies who have come forward to help us provide pro bono grief counseling services. And most importantly, there
What
have
is
been
EAP, Rima?
employee assistance program. Basically, these are the agencies which provide mental health
Mental
assistance
wellness.
to employees
Okay.
of organizations.
Marvelous.
And but most important, I'm so grateful that for we have a community size of about 80 to 100 women. There are about
Okay.
40 to 50 individuals who are working in the background. We
Ah,
have 20 anchors, amazing women who have the patience and compassion to hold the woman's hand and help her transition through their journey. And we also have other people who are working in the background. There is one lady who spends so much of her time and she gives so much of herself to build a lady's resume.
hmm.
She gives different insights, different perspectives. We have a young private equity professional. He is a young, I call him a boy, but he's a young man. He leads us our volunteer onboarding. He's a core member of the Not Alone team, so he's a male ally. But we have so many such wonderful individuals without which this Not Alone platform wouldn't have been sustainable for such a long time.
Yeah.
Madhura, would you like to add to what I have just said? I think we've got a
Yes, there's some lag,
line
I
is
think.
not so. Yeah,
Yeah.
so again, so it's all been about collaborations, Deepa, with individuals and institutions.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
look out for collaboration with both. We are looking out for support from institutions. We are
Yeah.
inviting corporates to join us as empathy partners. I think Madhura is back probably. Would you
Yeah.
like to add something?
Yes, I'm back. I don't know. This today seems to be a little bit of a patchy network sort of day. Uh, but yes, we are looking at empathy partnerships. We are in fact very happy that we are getting a fantastic support from many organizations, and they want to help us in very different ways. Some of them just want to come in and say, "Hey, can we help give jobs? Can we help them get skilled up for jobs? Some of them just want to be partners. Buyer came in as a very special sort of a partnership, saying, "You guys take care of the women who are in our community." And we had support from very
So today is one of those days when the Wi-Fi network has decided to play hooky.
looked at. Have I gone off again?
No, you're back.
Okay, sorry. So CNBC did a sort of a snippet on Not Alone. They interviewed us. We've also had Times of India. We've had Indian Express who have reached out to us and covered the story and just spread the word of Not Alone. So we are very grateful for their support. We're very grateful to Weber Shandvik, who thought that this was a good enough story to go to the media with, and they helped us craft together a sort of a campaign so that we could go and reach the world with this story. So as we speak, there are many other organizations that are coming forward to cover the story. So we are very grateful to be part of this journey, and we're hoping that this can become much bigger than
Yeah.
what it is currently today.
Amazing. And what I want to know, and I also want our audience to know this, that when Madhura and I spoke, I was asking her about, her inspiration and her mentors, because, I think the first of the five pillars is the mentorship. And I knew that there was possibly some strong role model. And Madhura, tell me about someone I'm very inspired by, and I know she sits on your board. Tell our audience about your inspiration, your IAS officer mother.
My mother actually is very amused at all the attention that she has got from the last bunch of entrepreneurial posts that have gone out talking about my childhood journey, including some embarrassing photos. But yes, my mother actually was inspired by my father. So I would put both of them as very strong role models. Because my mother was a topper in economics from university, and but she didn't have any plans of working. And my father decided that she was not going to spend the rest of her life looking after me. And that time it was only me. So I was very young when she went and wrote her competitive exams. She wrote the West Bengal Civil Services, and then of course she eventually transitioned into the IAS mid-career, and she is a swimming champion. So she went to the nationals breaststroke, and she is also a fantastic proponent of music. So she is everything that I can never hope to be. Okay, so let me put it that way. So
Amazing. So, Reema,
nicely cradled, by me, and then I promptly passed them on to my daughter, who took to the pool very well. And I can't swim to save my life. So I think, yeah, lots to gain from her. But I think without my father actually motivating her and pushing her, I do not know whether she would have followed that path. So yes, we have to also thank the men who always support us in our journey. Yes.
so beautiful. And I think this was a story that had to be told because, we cannot just have a discourse which is women only. If it
Yes.
were not for, like they say, a successful man, there's a woman, and for successful women, there's men, women, and it takes a village and more.
Absolutely.
So, what is your call for action for the audiences that are watching us now? Those are the ones who will watch this video maybe 5 years from now, because this story isn't going anywhere. Women in 60 countries who found this idea powerful to want to partner, companies who are coming forward to collaborate, and what's really your call for action over here, for individuals, for organizations? Tell us about that. For people who are hurting, who don't know where to go to, and it could also be that cohort of beneficiaries.
Yeah, yeah. So I maybe take all the three, and then Rima, please feel free to add to this. So for individuals who want to be part of our movement, it's very simple. Please go on our website and just sign up and jump in. If you have a great idea, in this cause, we are very happy to help you create a movement out of that idea. You can come in as a supporter, you can come in as a member, you can come in as a mentor. Just tell us what role you want to play in the movement, and we will be delighted to welcome you. For organizations, our model is a B2B model, and we want to sustain ourselves. So, what we do for organizations is we help them attract, recruit, and retain diverse talent. Because finally, the story only ends when the 3E actually takes shape. And we would love organizations to come forward and to welcome women into their workforce. And we will make it possible by skilling them, by preparing them, by giving them all the wherewithal to make sure that they are geared up for success. For entrepreneurs, we would love you to come and join our entrepreneurial community. Here, we are trying to build a network of entrepreneurs, women who want to be entrepreneurs, as well as existing entrepreneurs, to grow the percentage of women entrepreneurs in India who contribute today only 3% of the country's GDP. So we're trying to build an ecosystem for them, and we're trying to give them all the five models that we have on our platform. And we're doing that with Navya Naveli Nanda. Navya herself is a young entrepreneur, but her inspirational family background makes it all the more interesting for all the people of India to look up to this platform as their go-to platform to become an entrepreneur. So that's the third piece. And for women who actually are hurting and they need help in any way, all they need to do is write into us. We have very simple email IDs, Madhura at aspireforher.org and Reema at aspireforher.org. Please just write into us and tell us how we can help you. If you've been impacted by COVID or not, and if there is something that you need to reach out to in terms of any sort of career resources, we will be delighted and grateful to be a part of your journey.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Madhura, we have 3 more minutes, and had we done this live, I'm sure there would have been some questions coming in, and we've got some extra time. So, Reema, is there something you would like to tell people, who are sort of wondering? A lot of times you are at the mid course and you want to do meaningful stuff. You want to, but there is a you get overwhelmed sometimes with just so much that's going on. So how do you want people to sort of process so that they want to I don't people might say there's so much I want to do, but I myself am struggling. So how does this whole thing of doing something for others help you process how do you manage yourself, your own time, and has that actually helped the way you've been uh, uh,
Oh
you
yeah,
know
yeah, yeah, yeah. This was something, and very honestly, when I put my hand up, I'll be honest with you. But a couple of days after that, I couldn't sleep because I realized the kind of responsibility that I was taking on, and I was so scared. I had never done something like this before, right? We are all used to working in structured environments. We're all used to having standard SOPs, and suddenly you were getting into something which you didn't know. It was like that thing, and it was a responsibility that you were taking on. I felt it very personally because when a woman who is in that fragile state of mind, she is signing on to your platform when she has been let down by everybody, she is putting faith in you, you cannot let her down. And that was something that I held very, very close to my heart. So
so
there were
beautiful.
many sleepless nights, Deepa, that I spent, and Madhura was aware of it. But like I said, sometimes you just have to let go, and you just believe in the benevolence of the universe, and you will find that things will come together. And there's so many people who have volunteered, and when they ask me the same question, that how do I volunteer, I just say that, you know do what you think you can do. It is not something that you must do, you should do. It should come from within. Whatever you feel comfortable with, you just do that bit. And that is a lot. That little bit actually translates to a lot.
Wow. I mean, that is such a powerful message of hope for all of us. And for anybody who has that little thing of, how can I do something meaningful with my time? How can I do something that extends beyond what I can give with whatever it is that I can bring to the table? There is a platform that we have to go and explore, reach out and see. Maybe there is something there that just opens up for you that makes everything uh, suddenly you might find purpose. Suddenly you might find something that is giving you a direction of what you might want to do, or inspiration, or you yourself can be an inspiration and a mentor and a guide and an anchor. So, Madhura, Reema, we cannot thank you enough for doing Aspire for her, for dreaming for all of us, and for actually showing the way in something that is so tangible, so beautiful, so powerful, and something that fills us with hope. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deepa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good luck.